Hello, we are Joel and Lia.
And today's video is 5 things that Brits do that drive Americans crazy.
Now, we're not American, as you can hear. As you can hear. Now, we're not American, as you can probably tell, but we have thought of 5 things that we think drive Americans crazy.
So let us know in the comments if they do drive you crazy, or if there's anything that we've missed. Let's get started!
Alright. So excited.
Sorry.
So excitable.
The first one is being standoffish.
Oh yeah, so for anyone who doesn't know what standoffish is, it's just like a bit like, if there was a gesture for a word, it would be that.
And that's definitely how Brits are, I think, more so than Americans. It's like
standoffish.
And I think it annoys Americans. I think it comes across rude, even though it's not meant in a rude way. It's just sort of, we're just different.
Yeah, we're just different, and it's like, never take that as a personal insult. It's just like them being so self-conscious about our own stuff. It's just like, no.
Just like, no.
Irritating, no.
I don't need anyone in my space.
Yeah, my bubble.
Yeah.
So the next thing that we do that we think probably drives Americans mental is that we don't really tip. Tipping's just not really a big thing here. Unless you're made of money and throwing it around.
But it's just not bred in our culture where it's like you have to tip at least 15 or 20%. It's like,
we'll
what
leave
we're
a little
taught
tip.
is 10%.
We'll leave a little tip.
Yeah.
And I usually only really do like my parents do.
Yeah.
I don't really do it.
No, I don't.
But my parents always tip.
Yeah. And it tends to be 10%, and that's like generous.
Yeah, 10%. So if it's like a 50 quid bill, £5.
Yeah.
That'd be 10%. Yeah, of course it would. Knock off a 0. A star GCSE maths.
Maths
Forgotten
genius
everything.
here.
Yeah, just leaving a £5 and that would be it.
Yeah.
We'd never be 20%.
No, never.
We'd never be.
But we do try. When we come to America, I feel like most Brits are like, this is a tipping culture. Let's make sure we're tipping people. But maybe some don't. And I think that does piss off Americans. Because again, even though stuff is rude in our country, we forget that stuff is rude in other people's country.
Yeah, definitely.
So like, by not tipping, we're offending the person that's serving us.
And in some countries, tipping is actually rude, like in Japan.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like, no, this is the cost of the food.
It's exhausting.
It's exhausting. So like, when we go to America, Joel, we actually have to budget for tipping.
Tips.
We haven't even thought of that.
See,
we just thought like, we'll go somewhere, have some coffees. It's almost double what we have to budget more for that.
Because we tend to think America is cheap, so Brits are like, yes, America's so cheap, and it is, but then you add sales tax and you add tips, and it's like, oh, it's not actually that much cheaper.
Sales tax and tips is ridiculous. Yeah. Just tell me the cost.
Yeah, just tell me the cost up front and I'll pay it.
It's like getting to the checkout and delivery's like the same price as your thing, and you're like, well, I'll just sack off this whole order then. Yeah. Abandon.
So the next thing that drives Americans crazy is that the British people are emotionless, and they've got a stiff upper lip. That's what we call it when we're sort of like, we don't show emotion, we power through. If we're upset, we don't tell anyone, we just power through. We've got a stiff upper lip.
Which I think is definitely something of like an older generation.
Yeah.
Whereas now we're taught to all just like let our emotions out and just like cry, have a day, have a moment.
That's Leah.
Have a moment. I cried a lot yesterday. It felt lovely.
Shoot me,
guys. I cried. And I actually took some pictures of myself crying.
Oh.
And I was just like, I'm crying, I'm just going to take some pictures. Don't know why. I just like to see how I look when I cry.
That's so weird.
So weird.
But yeah, I think it's getting less like that because our generation is getting aware of how much that is like affecting young people, like to tell them to bottle up their emotions.
Oh God, it's so bad.
It's really bad. But it is how we are. I think you're probably, even though you do show emotion, I think you show emotion less than Americans might, or other cultures.
I probably, and talk about it less.
Yeah.
I'll keep
You'll
it.
pretend
I'll
you're
talk
fine.
to you about it.
Yeah.
But it's not something I broadcast.
No.
Apart from on my YouTube channel. Okay, this one, probably a bit of a sensitive topic, but Brits that think Americans don't get sarcasm. When they probably do.
Yeah.
Otherwise, so many of them wouldn't subscribe to this channel.
Yeah, exactly.
Would they? Feel really sarcastic.
No. And that is a huge stereotype that Brits are like, Americans just literally, they don't get sarcasm. But that isn't true because, like you said, we're so sarcastic. And
people send us messages like, oh, I love watching you guys.
Yeah.
So sarcastic.
Yeah.
So that's just, that's one thing that we're going to try and correct over here. We'll be like, Americans do get it, you guys.
Yeah. They're more intelligent than you. And the last one is kind of similar, but it's Brits assuming that Americans are stupid or that they're like, all gun-wielding, fat, loud, brash people.
That all voted for Trump.
Yeah, that all voted for Donald
obviously
Trump.
loads of you didn't.
No. And I think it's so wrong. Like, obviously we've got American friends, been to America, we've got loads of American viewers, and we know that just the same
Awful
stereotype of
stereotype.
Brits having bad teeth, we all know that that's not true, but
Brits
like,
having bad teeth.
some are.
Bad teeth?
Yeah.
Is that like a thing?
You've never heard of that?
No.
So that's a big stereotype that Americans are always like British people have gross teeth. And we've had loads of comment about it, being like, you two are are weird for Brits that you two have nice teeth. But
Never
anyway,
had braces.
it's like that. That obviously isn't true, but there are some Brits that do have bad teeth. It's the same thing. That isn't true about Americans, but
Oh, wow.
it is true for some Americans.
Yeah. No, definitely. It's a shame that, like, you know, Trump is like your president, and that
Yeah.
a lot of sort of ignorant Brits will look at that and be like, yeah, they're all like him, they all look to him.
Yeah.
'Cause
And that's kind of
obviously-
what's pushed in our media, is like, look at how many Americans love Donald Trump, where actually most Americans hate him.
Yeah.
So we know it. So we're sorry for Brit snobbery. British
Yeah.
people are snobby.
So snobby, sorry. Joel, you are totally right, because our media push the idea of Americans so much, and you know, they put Trump on the news and they're like, look at how many people voted for him, and
Yeah.
and it's like, of course, just building up this image of what we are supposed to think about Americans, and
Yeah.
it's not healthy, is it?
No, it's not.
It's not very nice.
It's not nice. Essentially, Americans are very similar to Brits.
Oh yeah.
And I know on our channel we kind of highlight the differences between them, but they're minimal. Like, I think
Yeah.
we are very similar, and it's just Americans are a bit more open and nice. Some of them. But we're a bit snobby.
We're a bit snobby.
Yeah.
So there you go.
Yeah.
We're a bit snobby.
We're a bit snobby. And we love it.
And what I always say is, I always say this, we can all afford to be a bit more American.
You do.
I
You
do
say that all the time.
don't I? Because we could all wear our heart on our sleeve a bit more, and
Yeah.
show a little bit more emotion, speak about how we're feeling. If you've got a problem
Yeah.
with someone, just say, hi, can I talk to you about something that's
Yeah.
bothering me?
And
it just
also
never happens here.
be bold and be confident. Like, if you want to have a meeting with someone, if you're networking, just be like, hi, can we go for a coffee? I've got a great idea. Instead
Yeah.
of like Brits being like, oh my goodness.
Or just
what do I
never
say?
saying
Yeah.
anything. You know, we always go, oh my god, you can't even get into an Uber without someone giving you a business card or their mixtape or something they've made. But in America, that is. But isn't that great? Like the idea of selling yourself
Yeah,
and
they're
just being
confident.
just that confidence. It's admirable.
Yeah.
And we want that, an element of it, but not too much of it.
Not too much.
But we'd love to take a leaf out of your book,
Yeah.
and we hope that you'd like to take a leaf out of ours.
Yeah. Multiculturalism!
Cultural!
Yeah!
Okay guys, that is the end of the video. We hope you've enjoyed it. Like we said, we did make the opposite, this video in reverse, so we'll click on the cards to watch 5 things Americans do that drive Brits nuts.
Definitely. And we've just started a coffee page, which is an opportunity for some of our supporters to buy us a coffee. So if you'd like to do that, head down to our coffee page. The link's in the description.
And that's it guys. Subscribe, like, leave the comments, blah blah blah, and we'll see you next week.
See you
Bye.
soon. Bye. Howdy, partner.
Bye partner.
Bye, y'all.
See ya.
See ya. Right.
How do you feel about us having a bit of the voice going underneath the end card?
Yeah, that could be cool.
Just leave the voice.
Yeah, leave the voice. Let's try it out.
Just try it out.